Next to face the judges is Rena Maycock from Cilter. Cilter's key differentiator is that, unlike competitors, it is not an app, but instead it's embedded into the operating system of devices.
Good morning, judges. My name is Rena Maycock. I'm the CEO and founder of Cilter Technologies. We are an early stage safety tech software company. We're developing child protection software for smartphones that detects and blocks cyberbullying, grooming and suicide and self-harm content in messaging apps. So 25% of 6-year-olds have their own smartphone rather, and 93% of 8 to 13-year-olds have their own smart device. Parents have 4 main equal concerns when they give their child a smartphone: that they'll access pornography, spend too much time online, be groomed or cyberbullied. And that's with good reason. Cyberbullied children are 3 times more likely to attempt suicide, and 7% of 12 to 15-year-olds have encountered online grooming. But the current tools available to parents do not adequately equip them to protect their children against harmful user-generated content in smartphones. So the state of the art in smartphone parental controls are apps. Apps operate on a peer-to-peer system. So while they can restrict access and block pornography websites, they do not have the technology to deal with harmful messages. So cyberbullying and grooming cannot be dealt with by parental control apps. So 50% of parents' needs are not being met by current solutions. Cilter is not an app. Cilter is an operating system modification. It's built into the kernel level of the Android operating system. It's at this point we can access all incoming and outgoing data. We can compare that data against our proprietary AI-driven databases for threats and block anything that fails the test. So if your child is sent a bullying message, we'll block that message, save it in a locked file on the phone and send you an alert. If your child tries to send a nude image of themselves, we won't allow it to send. Or if they try to access suicide and self-harm material, we'll send you an urgent alert with advice on what to do next. To date, we've been granted a patent for our data content filter. We've developed our prototype filtering encrypted WhatsApp messages. The Irish government have agreed to partner on our pilot with a major network operator. In addition to building a world-class team and advisory board, we have partnerships and endorsements with key child protection stakeholders. Recently, we were awarded the highly competitive Disruptive Technology Innovation Fund. This is a €2.8 million non-dilutive grant towards development of our market-ready product, which we're developing in partnership with the world-renowned Anti-Bullying Research and Resource Centre at DCU. And just last month, we closed a record-breaking seed round of €1.67 million in co-funding for the grant. So the parental control market is set to be worth €8 billion this year. Cilter will disrupt the market, scaling rapidly by licensing to high-volume, repeat-order customers in the telco space. And we're already in talks with one of the world's biggest smartphone manufacturers to embed our technology. We aim to protect 15 million children from the harmful effects of smartphone use within 4 years of launch. And ultimately, our mission is to become the machine standard parental control on all computing devices and available to all children. Thank you.
Hi, Rena.
Hi, Nan.
Rena, what are the key challenges for you in getting OEMs to adopt this technology?
Honestly, we've found that it's a bit of an open door because we're Android only, because it's open source, and the Android space is really clogged. So the appetite for unique selling points is very, very strong. So the conversations that we've had so far, the quotes that we've been given is we are a very, very useful switching tool. You know, and what I mean by switching is switching from iPhone, because in 72% of cases we don't change operating system. So what's happening at the moment is you and I are creating tomorrow's iPhone user because our 11-year-old is coming to us and saying, give me a phone, give me a phone. We go, here, have my old Apple 10, I'll upgrade to a 16. And then you and I, in 72% of cases, have created tomorrow's Apple user, and then they're trapped in the ecosystem. So Apple have those two things. So we have found with Android OEMs that the door is ajar, and we're just kind of pushing it because we give them that really valuable USP to give them the chance to be the first operating system in the hands of a user and keep that user in 72% of cases, and also compete with all of the other hundreds of Android operating system manufacturers.
Thank you.
Rena, I'm Sharon. Thank you, this is amazing. I'm looking at this wondering, you're talking about children only. I'm just wondering, is there a larger market in the construct of mental health for us all, not just our children?
It's a very good question. It's the reason why I invented the software in the first place. I was pregnant and I kept getting served the image of Alan Kurdi. Do you remember the little Syrian boy that washed up on the beach? And I was very emotional. I kept crying. And I looked around for a filter on Facebook and Twitter so I could keep using social media, and I couldn't find one. And a friend of mine who is a technologist, when I eventually had my kids, my perspective changed. All I could see were headlines of kids that had been systematically cyberbullied, groomed and pushed into the irreversible. So what I really invented to protect myself from harmful content, and we all get served those images and stories, you know, the headlines in the Irish Times we don't want to see. And I just transferred that into that other market. But so yes, you're dead right. You know, a part of our product roadmap is, you know, secondary users being adults that want to curate the data that they're served, and other solutions such as, you know, preventing radicalisation, which isn't a problem in Ireland, but it's a big problem in the likes of the UK and the US. So we can expand the range of services once we have that entry point into